Hello everybody and welcome back to art. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of some color experimentation with our watercolor palettes. So the supplies you're going to need today is you're going to need your paper, okay, your watercolor paper. It's that bumpy stuff right there that you can kind of see. It's got some texture to it. Okay, we will be using the bumpy side of your paper. You will need a clean cup of water and a dirty cup of water. Okay, it doesn't really matter, but you need to determine that beforehand. Okay, so decide which one is which. Your watercolor palette, okay, it comes with a brush. All right, but in your packet you also should have gotten one of these brushes. Okay, so this brush and this brush. All right, we can use both of them, doesn't really matter. Probably end up using both of them. Okay, you're going to need some paper towel. All right, and then today we are also going to be using some scissors. All right, so the scissors that you have laying around your house, okay, we're basically going to be cutting up and over to get 4 pieces, okay, out of this paper. So if you feel like you want some nice even lines, you can fold your paper in half. Okay, then you can fold it again. And when you open it up, you're going to have 4 sections, okay? This helps us work a little bit smaller because with watercolor, you typically when we're first starting off, we will work a little bit smaller because it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes, okay? It can be a little tough. So working smaller helps us not get too out of control, okay, and too over our head with what we're trying to do here, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do one example, and then you have 3 other tries that you can do as well, okay? So I have 4 pieces of paper now, and I'm just gonna focus on the one, okay? Doesn't matter if you go horizontal or vertical, okay? Doesn't matter. Either way, it's gonna be all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and place mine here. I don't need the scissors anymore. And what I'm gonna do is make sure that I'm working on that bumpy side, okay? Now, the next step is that you need to take one of your brushes, okay, it doesn't matter which brush, okay, there's a flat brush and a round brush, that's what this one's called. And what you're gonna do is you're always going to be working from your lightest color first. So you need to decide what color you want to do first, because we're gonna be doing some tie-dye patterns, okay? We're gonna be mixing and letting our paper do the work for us, okay? So we're gonna be using a lot of water and a lot of different colors. So, first thing I'm going to do is touch water on my brush and bring it directly over here and just kind of paint it on my paper. Doesn't really matter, okay? One section of my paper. All right? So I've got water, just clean water. Now, the next step that I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to touch water, and I'm going to touch a really light color first, okay? I've touched some yellow. All right, so now it doesn't really look like there's very much yellow on here, okay, even when you look at it close. But when you go to find out here, is that since we've touched water here, we've touched water, yellow, and then we come to touch our paper, look at that. There's actually quite a bit of yellow on here, okay? So I'm going to back and forth, okay? Touch some water, touch some yellow, bring it over onto my paper. Okay? That's kind of the pattern that you're going to be working with this watercolor. Okay? So we go from water, so this is my dirty water now because I'm washing my brush. Yellow, touch the paper. Okay? You can dab your paper, you can brush your paper. All right, totally up to you. I do a little bit of both. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, work from the lightest colors first, because what happens with watercolor is that you can always go darker. It's very, very, very hard to go from a dark color to a light color because the darker color is always going to overpower the lighter color. So I'm going to work from my lightest color down towards my other one. So I'm going to wash my brush really good, okay? You can check it by your paper towel. If it's clear, then it's clean. So I've washed, I've checked it, okay? Touch some water. I'm going to touch the next color. Okay, maybe I want some orange. All right, so water, orange, touch right here along that edge. Okay? Now what you're going to start to see happening is that when it starts to mix in here by pulling in, you can pull your brush into the yellow, okay? Or you can dab your brush overlapping those colors, is that it starts to mix. And that yellow starts to turn into a orangish yellow. Okay? The other thing you can do is touch some water, brush alongside this edge right here. Okay? Brush alongside this edge. And all I'm going to do now is touch some more orange. I'm going to come in and touch just like this. And because of that water, what you can do here is pick it up, and you can actually tilt your paper back and forth, and it starts to run into one another. Okay, it's starting to create new colors. So you kind of let the paper and the water do the work for you. Okay, so now I've created a yellowish orange color here. Okay, now the next color I'm going to do, all right, I'm going to go to some red. So I've touched water, touch some water down here onto your paper on the outside edge of the last color that you did. You can do any color combination, any order. Okay, I'm using quite a bit of water here because I want it to leak and blend together. Okay, watch this. A lot of water, just touching here or there. Okay, water, touch some red, so water, touch red, and start dotting some of that color around. Dot some of that color around. So water, red, touch some of that color. Now what happens with watercolor is that if you want a lighter color of the color you have, you want a lighter shade, all you have to do is add more water to it. Okay, so if I wanted a darker red, you just add more red. If I want to lighten that color, you touch water and you move it somewhere else, and it starts to turn to a pink actually. Okay, so now that I have that down, I can pick it up and I can blend those colors together. Blend them together. Now notice anywhere that water is, the color is going to go. Okay, so if there's water, a barrier of water right here, notice how it's not really going past that barrier. Okay, if I pick it up like this and force it to, it'll run off like that. Okay, but that's why you have a paper towel and you can clean up your mess. Okay, no problem. If you don't like how that happened, you can take your paper towel and just pick it up gently. You just blot it. Okay, you just dab it. If you smear and smudge like this on the watercolor paper, it can actually ruin the paper. So be gentle with it, okay? So I've gone from yellow to orange to red. I'm going to wash my brush, okay? I'm going to touch some blue now, okay? If you have your other brush, you can work like this. You can have a dirty brush and a clean brush. So clean water. Clean water. Clean water, clean water. So dirty water, touch some blue, come right on in here. Dirty water, touch your blue. All right, same thing, I'm gonna pick it up and let it mix around. What you're starting to see is that when red touches blue, it makes purple. But you guys already know that because that's stuff we did earlier in the year. Okay, now you're just doing it on a different scale with this watercolor stuff. Okay, so you guys can go ahead and mix and match any of the colors that you see to kind of continue on. So I'm going to touch some. Clean my brush really good. It's clean. See, there's no blue on it. Touch. Yellow. I'm going to come straight in here, and because we know that yellow and blue make green. All right, boys and girls. So there's the first one down, okay? Tie-dye colors. I start with my lightest colors first, then I work darker. You can always come back out on the other end, okay? You guys, totally up to you with what colors you want to do first and experiment, okay? When you guys clean up your brushes, you want to wash them good, okay? You want to dry them, and then you want to take your fingers and you want to gently fix the hair on them, just like we do at school, okay? You always want to either put your brush in a safe place that's not going to get squished, because you don't want crazy hair on your brush. You want nice fixed hair like you guys fix your school hair for school every day. Okay, you're going to wash your brush off, same thing. Check it, gently fix the hair on your brush, and if you have a place to stick it with its hairdo sticking straight up, that's the best way to do it. Or you put it straight back inside your palette, take your paper towel, wash up some of this stuff here, okay? You don't need to worry too much about your watercolor palette, because if you start dabbing in like this, it gets really goopy and really messy. So honestly, what I would do is I would just let it dry with the air like that, or you can just kind of close it up and be gentle not to walk around with it and it drip all over the place. But the best thing about watercolor is that it's all washable, okay? So even if it gets on your hands, it comes right off, okay? So just make sure that you're cleaning up after yourself. That's why you got some paper towel, okay? You wash your brush, fix the hair, and you clean it up, okay? You have 3 other choices right here. You guys can experiment with some more tie-dye, okay? I might even do a couple more myself and post some videos on my YouTube channel if you like to look at more. All right, well, I hope you guys have fun with this lesson. Can't wait to see your art. All right, bye-bye.